Xander Martin, welcome to The Common Thread. Is this your first podcast?
This is actually first ever.
I love it. So one thing that we have realized about the Common Thread podcast is it's everybody's first podcast. So this is a great opportunity for you to learn about podcasting to go on and do great things later in life. It's going to be awesome.
I'm excited.
So basically for the podcast, our goal is to begin with the common thread that kind of brought us together, which is SG, and just kind of have a conversation about where you are in life, who you are, what you've done, where you're going, and kind of the impact that soccer genome and soccer in general has had on your life.
Okay.
Cool?
Cool.
I think we can do this.
Yeah, I think we can.
So begin at the beginning.
Oof. It was a while ago. I think it was, 12 years?
Yeah, probably
12 years ago is when I started with SG at the factory. That was awesome. You know, in the backspace.
Yeah, not everybody knows about that.
Not everyone knows about that.
Got to be an OG.
The sacred OG SG area. But, I mean, you know, started with SG, you know, my little group back then.
What are some of your earliest memories that have stuck with you?
The one that sticks with me the most at the factory is when, I think it was Michael, played me a ball in the air and I scored a bike.
I vaguely remember that.
But like we would try them all the time.
Yeah.
It's like that type of stuff. It's just like the like fun stuff, you know? And but then also like the thing I love, which I'll get into it later, is like the futsal stuff.
Yeah.
I loved all the futsal, you know, especially with the team that I played with, like with Christian and all them and the OG guys. Like we were playing like up like 3-4 years, and like that's really what got like my head thinking fast and the technical ability getting and like improving and all that type of stuff. But I mean, honestly, I can't remember much about the factory. That was so long ago. But yeah, it's been good. So
walk me kind of through your soccer journey. So what are you currently doing?
So I'm currently at, I just transferred to Campbell University. So I was at UNCG playing D1 there. But then I went into the portal and now I'm going to Campbell. So I'm doing that, and then this summer I'm playing with NCFC U23s.
And what's kind of been your journey to kind of get to this level of the game?
You know, so I grew up playing in NCFC's academy. You know, Railhawks back in that day.
Oh, yeah.
When the Railhawks first started their academy, the U12s, and then they went to NCFC. But I was always in the academy, the upper level teams, playing with high quality players all the time, and I'm very grateful for that opportunity. But you know, went through the NCFC academy till U15 year, and this is when COVID hit, which you know it's
an awful time.
Awful time, you know. But that U15 year was like probably one of my favorite years of my soccer career, just because the team we had, the team culture we had was just so like, you know, we were family, you know, and we were doing really well. We were like top of the table by like 9 points. This is when DA was around as well. So there was like MLS level teams in there. And we were doing really well, and then COVID hit and our season ended, which sucked. But then, you know, couldn't play for a while just because of the virus and all that. But then I'm very thankful that I got an opportunity to then go trial with Charlotte FC, the MLS team up in Charlotte, and I was actually a part of the first Charlotte FC team, which was the U17 Academy team, which is awesome.
That is awesome.
And then, so I played 2 U17 years there, and then after my second U17 year, I played with the pilot team going into Crown Legacy. So they didn't have a second team yet, but they had like a team like going into that, you know, and I played with them for a while, and then, you know, then Crown Legacy finally started, and they brought in a bunch of guys, you know, on a lot of money and all that type of stuff. So then that's where I finally made the decision. It's like, I'm going to take a different route and go the college way, and, you know, I wanted to get a degree as well, just so I had a backup as well. But, you know, my dream's always been pro, so still striving for that dream.
Still chasing the dream.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so obviously the whole Charlotte experience was interesting because I remember when you left home. So what was that experience like, basically leaving family, friends, school environment to go to a new city, new club, a lot of unknowns in that experience?
Yeah, I mean, it was for sure a lot of unknowns. I mean, I think I was 15 when I left, which is very unusual for kids to leave the house. But I'm so thankful for the opportunity. Like it's grown me as a person. But just like going down there, you know, I stayed with a host family, and you know the host family was very welcoming. You know, got me to training, got me back from training before I could drive, and then once I could drive, I could take myself. But that was a big key to it, is just the host family being very welcoming, and all the host families I had were amazing. But then also like the guys on the team at Charlotte, like when I first went there, I mean we played against each other like almost every year in DA and academy, so like we all knew each other, and we were most of the time like we were playing against each other, so we were enemies in a sense. But when we got there, like it felt like we were just like really close, and that was something that was awesome because we all knew each other, we all like played against each other, and we all knew each other's tendencies. Yeah. So that's something that helped a lot with that. But then just like the experience as well, just like off the field as well, is like it grew me as a man. You know, just being able to handle myself, being away from family, friends, and all that stuff that I built up here in Raleigh. But going to a new place and having to rebuild that up, it helped me just like, you know, be more social, find things that I like to do in my own time, you know, that doesn't like require like, oh, I need this person to be with me to do it, but like being able to be, you know, just independent, you know, and that's helped me a lot. I think I've grown in a lot in that sense, and it helped me going to college, you know, because a lot of the times people will go to college and miss home and all that, but I feel like I went in and it's like, oh, this is normal. You know, so just helping me like in life aspects.
What do you feel like is the biggest shock going from, you know, youth soccer into the college game?
I think the physicality is a big shock. I mean, especially like with playing in the academy level, it's a lot of just tiki-taka, moving the ball, technical players, you know. And then you'll have like a guy here and there that's 6'2", big guy, but it's like in the college game, it's like every player's 6 foot plus, they're strong, big, fast, and it's like having to adapt to that was pretty hard, especially my freshman year and sophomore year. I think that's the biggest thing, is like the physicality.
So obviously you're not 6'3".
I'm not, no.
So how did you adapt to that?
Actually, I was high in SG. SG helped me a lot with, you know, just the technical ability and be able to think in like quickly in tight spaces. I mean, when we play like pickup and just the trainings that we used to do all the time, there's a lot on like technical ability and like being good on the ball mastery, all that type of stuff. And you know, when you get the ball, you shouldn't lose it, you know? And that's really what helped me, is like that technical ability, that first touch, because, you know, not being 6 foot plus, I got to find ways around them. And a lot of that is on the ball and on the ground. So just like being able to think quickly in tight spaces and get out of that in tight spaces, having good ball mastery, all that, and just SG has helped me a lot with that.
That's awesome. So, what are you studying in school?
So I'm actually changing my major, but I'm going into just business administration.
What were you?
I was information systems, so it's like sports analytics, business analytics, that type of stuff. But I mean, I liked it. I was good at it. It was really hard. And I was like thinking about it. I was like, I don't know if I could do this the rest of my my life if I were to do it. So I'm going into business administration / management. So.
Cool. Very cool. So let's like look kind of forward in time. Where do you hope to be in 5 years?
Well, I hope to have a degree from a university.
What year are you right now?
So I'm going into my junior year.
Junior year, okay.
Yeah. Cool. But I still have 3 more years left of soccer. I redshirted last year. But I mean, I hope to have a degree, and I hope to, you know, my dream is to be at a professional team in 5 years. I think that would be a goal I could set to get there, you know, finish up college, have 3 years left, ball out those last 3 years, and then hopefully get either drafted or go on trials and find a team to play for. So.
That's awesome. Why do you want to do that?
I mean, I've always loved the game of soccer. It's just been part of my life for about 17, 16 years of it.
Yeah.
I mean, as a young child, I was always dreaming of being a professional, playing in front of, crowds and, inspiring people from my game style.
Yeah.
That are like fans and watching, and just inspiring people in that way. But yeah, I mean, I've always loved the game, and that's something that like I love about SG is like maybe going into college, like the coaches or maybe I'm just not liking the environment at a place or a club, and it's like I come back to SG and it's like it brings that love to the game back.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I come back and the vibes are high, and
yeah.
We're coming in just having fun playing, but we're also getting better.
Right.
But it's like that love for the game just comes back, that spark comes back. So.
That's awesome. So a thought exercise I like to ask people is if I were to take the game away from you today, can't play anymore, what would be the pieces of the game that you'd be able to carry on with you throughout the rest of your life? Or the skills you've developed within the game that transfer off the field? Because again, for me, this is a really important question because as a competitive player, the game ends for everybody at some point. And you either redefine your connection to the game through coaching or through business, or just becoming a fan. But at some point, the competitive piece ends. And I think a lot of players don't think about that because they don't want to think about that.
Yeah.
So if I were to take the game away from you today competitively, what would be the pieces that you would take with you, the skills you've developed through the game over the last, 16, 17 years that would apply to other areas of your life that you'd continue to use?
That's a good question. Definitely the first one is discipline. I mean, just being able to wake up early and train and do extra work and be disciplined in that is something I can use in my entire life with whatever I do with work or
For sure.
just being a fan, waking up early to watch my team or something like that.
When you say discipline, how does that practically play out for you? Like, what do you really mean by discipline? Break it apart.
What I mean by that is like, if I tell myself I'm going to train extra, if I tell myself I'm going to work out, if I tell myself I'm going to wake up early, get extra touches, like actually doing it, being disciplined and doing it consistently. I mean, something I set over the summer is like getting extra touches in almost every day, because I am a big believer like you need at least one rest day to just reset your body and not overdo it to injure yourself, because injuries can hurt and
they can sneak up on you.
They can sneak up on you for sure. So just just being able to stick to what I say to myself, like if I'm going to do this, actually doing it and doing it consistently. So
it's interesting you say that. So one thing that I think is so crucial that a lot of people may not articulate the way you just did is that ability to keep your word to yourself. What do you mean by that?
I don't even. Honestly, I got to think about that longer.
So let me play out what I interpreted when I heard you say that. I think as a competitive athlete or as a high performer in any field, there's this temptation of we all set goals, right? And a lot of times, especially if we don't write them down, they're like kind of in our head or they're in our mind. We're like, I'm going to go do that thing. And it's so easy and subtle because you've made that commitment to yourself in your head. There's not that external accountability. That's easy to be like, oh, I'll skip it today. Like, oh, I'll just hit the snooze button today. Like, nobody's gonna know, right? Like, or, it's not that big a deal if I do the extra training session today. I'll have a second rest day. It's really easy to set a goal, but not keep your word to yourself that I'm gonna go do that thing that I've set out to do. And for me, that's a mark of a really high performer who doesn't need external pressure to execute on the deal that they've made with themselves. It's like, I have a goal, I want to be excellent. And if you're relying on external pressures or people on the outside to get you there, you're obviously never going to be able to do the work. So I actually think that's like a really important kind of key quality, your ability to keep your word to yourself. So even if you didn't articulate it that way, that's how I took it.
I mean, I think with adding on to that, I think it's just like the competitive side to me that drives me to continue to do it. It's like, if I, like, especially I'll use like my freshman year as an example. I came into UNCG thinking I was going to be like the top guy, you know, coming in from a MLS academy, MLS team, and going into college, I was like, okay, I'm going to be the best guy, you know?
Yeah.
And I got humbled pretty quick, and just like being that competitive side, it was like, I want to be better than these guys, you know?
Yeah.
And I've always had that competitive side to me.
Yeah.
So just that has always just been there inside of my heart. So it's like, that's what pushes me to do more.
So you said discipline, you said your competitive edge you would take off the field. Or what are some other things you would take with you from the game that you've learned in the game that you would apply off the field if I took the game away from you today?
I think my social.
The social aspect of the game?
Yes. It's something I feel like a lot of players don't realize, but especially in my story with the game is like, I was at 2 different clubs. Now I'm going to 2 different universities. And it's like that social aspect of when I left NCFC and I had my group of guys there, and, you know, we're all really good, really close friends, and then going to a different club, and it's like that social aspect of, you know, making new friends and creating that new family, you know, and like adding that to the world and like the work aspect is like, if I take that away from it, you know, if you take soccer away from me, I can go to anywhere and have that social ability to like make new friends or create that new family and be able to just
connect
talk.
with people.
Yeah, connect with people. So
yeah, that's one thing that I actually I think took for granted for a long time when we had first started SG. There was this hugely competitive drive, like, I want to be a great coach. I want to be a great coach. I really want to help players. I think I know how to really help players. And one thing that I didn't fully value was that Soccer Genome was this incredible place filled with these connections, right? So, you know, I think of your parents and their influence on our success, you and your brother, and again, all of those different parents, you know, and players that really helped me personally, but then SG as a brand grow. And looking back over the last 14 years, some of the most meaningful connections I have in my life have come through Soccer Genome.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that the game does so beautifully, is it allows you to connect with different people who you would normally maybe never cross paths with, but the game brings you together. And it is a really powerful thing if you use it as a way to really connect with people.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
But outside of the pitch, where can we find you? Where can we find Xander Martin?
I think the biggest thing right now is my faith.
Hey!
And faith in Jesus Christ. Literally off the field, that's something I do all the time. I'm in my word, you know, I'm praying, finding community that's rooted in Jesus. I think that's also helped me in a sense with like having confidence going to the field and, you know, having like knowing like as a believer, knowing my identity is in Christ and trusting in his promises. But like, you know, that just faith, you know, going to church, like I'll be there all the time. Hanging out with people that go to church as well and all that. I think that's a side quest I've been on.
It's kind of like the side quest, main quest, right?
Yeah, it's side quest, main quest, and it's something that's really helped me in this past year. Like I recently devoted my life to him, and it's like since I've done that, I've just, you know, I haven't felt like stress about a game. Like before a game, I would always be like super nervous, like shaking sometimes in the bus, and you know, I'm like, oh, I gotta play good, but I literally pull up to the games now, like just nothing's going in my head, like I don't really think about anything, you know, I'm just listening to worship music, which is some of my favorite music right now, and I literally just go into the game, just go have fun, you know, and
that's awesome.
And know that like you said, like soccer is a temporary thing, like it will. I'm playing it now, but at some point it's going to be over. And being rooted in Jesus is something that is like, even when soccer's done, I know I still have him.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, the
that
way
journey's not going to end.
It's not going to end.
It's going to get more crazy.
Yeah, it's going to. So I guess that's a little side quest / main quest that I have going on right now. And
that's awesome.
I'm so thankful that he did continue to stick his arm out for me and be there for me through it all.
So tell me a little bit about the influence that your parents and your coaches have had on your success. Walk me through some kind of key moments in your development journey that you look back on and you're like, wow, this was like a really important moment or really important word that I got from one of these people that has really helped me get to where I'm at in the game today.
Well, I'm gonna start with my parents.
Yeah.
I think my parents, my dad and my mom, have had two different impacts in me. You know, my dad was always that person, you know, pushing me, you know, telling me to work harder, keep going. You know, like when you fall, stand back up and keep going. That type of influence. And then my mom was always there, just to like that emotional support. Like if I had a bad game, just like I was all sad, and especially when I was younger, I'd start crying. You know, because I love the game so much. But just her being there always brought a smile to my face, and like, you know, I can keep going. You know,
it's gonna be okay.
So I think that those two is like, that's probably the biggest impact.
I think Andy and Susan are pretty cool.
They're awesome. They're awesome people. I love them to death. I think my brother as well has had a massive impact in my game and my soccer career. I mean, he's been like, with kind of like my dad, he's always pushed me, but he's been there with me through it. You know, especially like when growing up in NCFC, he was always telling me like to keep going, all that type of stuff, but also like training with me, you know, individual sessions with him. He's always pushing me in those and all that, and especially now, my brother, like, he does physical, it's like exercise science, so like lifting weights, strength and conditioning stuff, and he helps me with that stuff. So he makes me a plan, and, you know, he pushes me to, you know, do the exercises right to get faster and get stronger. So then when I go into the field, I can be more explosive, be stronger on the ball, and all that. So I think that's like the impact my family's made. I think with the coaches, I've heard a lot of like really good things. Just like, I've heard it from every coach. Just like, making mistakes is okay. Especially in the game, especially in a 90-minute game, we're not perfect. We're gonna make mistakes, and if you can make the mistake and not think about it and react or go get the ball back and move on, that's like the best thing you can do. And then I think like with you, you've always told me to just like love the game, never like not like even if you're having that bad season or that bad like drought of like time, like always love the game, because it's always like it's always been there, and that's always awesome. Have fun with it. That's something I've really taken into my heart recently, is like having fun with the game. Like, yes, it's a serious thing. It's because it's one of my dreams. I want to achieve this dream. But thinking like it is a game. It's a game that I fell in love with it because I had fun with it at the start. So
it really is like so subtle, right? But it's so easy to lose.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Just having fun. Like, that's why I said like coming back here, I always have fun. I always like find that joy back into it, and then I've brought that back to like the collegiate level or USL 2. Is like going out there and having fun, like having a smile on my face as I play, kind of like Rafael Leao.
Yeah. There you go.
But yeah, I think that's like the coaching part.
So what are some of the key characteristics that you would say as a player? What are some of the key characteristics of great coaches that you've had that really stand out to you, or at least really resonate with you individually as a player?
I think my U15 year, Tom Harris, and then also USL 2, Chris Harrington. Both those coaches really just give me the freedom to play and just go out there and like literally just trusting me and be like, I know you're good. I know you're a good player. You're a quality player. Go do your thing. And having that freedom to just go out there and be me, and not being so nitpicky about everything. It's like, oh, you made a mistake. Like, I'm going to yell at you, that type of stuff. But like, literally just giving me the freedom. It's like they know I'm going to make mistakes. But just letting me just go out there and enjoy the game and just be able to play freely. So
that's awesome.
I think that's a big thing that's really helped me and helps me to this day, is like just going out there. And for either.
So, two questions I'd like to ask players at the end of the podcast are more geared towards the audience. So, the first question is a player who is still in the youth game and has aspirations of someday being where you're at today. What is one or two things that you would tell that player are the most important parts of the journey to get to where you're at?
Okay, I think my two most things is, the first one is consistency. Always, like, kind of what I was talking about with discipline, is always being consistent and doing extra work and working hard. And, you know, I'm a firm believer of hard work beats talent. And as you work hard, you'll become talented. That's something that personally I've experienced. And then just having fun with the game. I think that's the biggest thing, like you said. Like, just having fun with the game is so key. Because if you don't have fun with the game, you're going to burn out and not like
Ask
the
yourself,
game
why am I
anymore.
even doing this?
Why am I doing this? And I see so many, like, especially getting to my age now, I see so many of my friends are not playing anymore or quitting the game because they lost that spark, you know? Just always having that, okay, this game, it's a game, I'm going to have fun with it and have that mindset, you know?
That's awesome. And then towards the part of the audience that maybe is a parent of a youth player, what would be one or two words of advice you would give them in how to best help develop their child as they're going through the game?
Obviously, they were hard on me, but I think what they did is they would tell me one time, like, look, you had a bad game or all this, but they never yelled at me. They're always, like, very, like, it's okay, like, pick your head up, let's move on to the next thing. And I guess from a parent's perspective, just always being encouraging to the kids. Like, that's something that helps me a lot, is encouragement. And if your child has a bad game, being like, hey, like, it's okay, like, it's just one game. You know, that game's done, now let's look at the next one. And encouraging them, like, what can we do now to, you know, you made this mistake in the game. What can we do now so you don't make that same mistake in the next one? And, like, that type of encouragement. And also just being like, look, like, we are there for you all the time. You know, we love you as parents. So just know that, and have that in the back of your head, that, like, especially because, like, a lot of the times I feel like in the youth, like, the crowds and the audience while you're playing can get into your head. Like, oh, I had a bad game. Now the people aren't going to think I'm a good player. Or knowing that, like, your parents think you're a great player. So always encouraging them in that way. It's like, you're a great player. Like, keep doing what you're doing. Keep, you know, being consistent in the game. But I think the biggest thing is just encouragement.
That's awesome. Well, Xander Martin, welcome to the Common Thread. You did great. We're going to have you back on the Common Thread.
Here we go.
We will check back in on how progress is going, but thanks again for joining us.
Thanks for
a lot of
having
good
me.
feedback, a lot of good questions. Producer, you got anything for him?
Xander, I thought that was great.